The Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure, it's the skeleton of the economy. As an economy, you can't grow if you don't have the right or the proper infrastructure in place.
Africa is struggling partly because of our political ecosystem. Today, let's visit this politician or what it is, and I bring you Keoagile Atamelang, MP and Assistant Minister. Keoagile,
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
It's excited as always. Imagine this, what would happen if we have a politician who doesn't have scandals? A politician who doesn't have sticky fingers. A politician who's genuinely for the people. If I know very well that I want to change the narrative, or at least I gave myself the task or the responsibility to change that narrative, it's up to me to actually stop my distractions.
With Parliament, do you believe that it can indeed transform the country?
I 100% believe it's possible. When you look at the BETP, when you look at NDP 12, when you look at all these projects that are trying to unlock the economic growth, when we implement them, I promise you, I'll be sitting here and be like, all right.
Welcome to the GrowthWell Podcast, where we tap into a well of knowledge, innovation, and leadership to fuel Africa's growth. Here, we explore thought-provoking insights and expert knowledge that empower individuals and businesses to thrive across the continent. Whether it's personal development or professional advancement, our conversations inspire action and impact. This is GrowthWell, where ideas flow and growth begins. Let's dive in.
There we go, GrowthWell friends. We are back. And today, just reminds me how Aristotle used to say that man is by nature a political animal. So in us, every one of us has got a political aspect to it. And today we are going to be looking at politics from someone who's been new to politics, someone who's fresh and has been an engineer before. So just a perspective, because good people, Africa is struggling partly because of our political ecosystem. So we'll revisit that political system and see whether Parliament and politicians are truly delivering. Just to remind you, across Africa, a third of our people still live in poverty. 60% of the poorest people on earth are in sub-Saharan Africa. So you can see, in other words, the pressure is on. And with Botswana, we've had the good days where, our growth rates were in the double digits. We're doing very well. We're the darling of the world. But now, things are tough. And this is a time where we'll call upon the leadership. I just get reminded how President Duma Boko said recently on record, he's actually perceives himself as the luckiest man to come at the time when the calling, and he was really, really quite thoughtful. It actually reminded me of Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of the UK, and just at the edge of the war, the Second World War, when he said he was actually destined for that job. And the rest is history, as he performed and he excelled. So today, let's visit this politician or what it is. And I bring you Keoagile Atamelang, MP and Assistant Minister. Keoagile,
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
It's excited as always. I'm super excited as always, so yeah.
You dressed quite smartly. Always looking like an architect.
I'm trying to look the part.
Is it?
Yeah. I used to have a very different hairstyle. If you do a bit of,
if I do a bit of research,
my dad loved afros, so so I didn't have the sidebands. I wanted them so well. DNA just didn't work on that. So yeah.
Just tell me. Just to visit the way you are dressing.
Yeah.
There's something about architects that it's got the creative aspect in terms of aesthetics.
Yeah.
Did your career turn into your dress code?
Well,
or that's just how you wear?
I'm not a fashionista.
Uh-huh.
So But being a creative, it's all about expressing yourself.
Yeah,
So there's that, so I express myself differently, but I also look good when I'm wearing formal or sportswear. But hey, I can't rock some of these looks, eh? So stick to what works. So yeah, formal and a bit of sportswear. That's where I look better. So
that's cool. I like to start on the light note. Now, the Botswana National Assembly, just the day before we filming today, turned into a theater.
Yeah.
With the HE, in terms of the lecture around law, and obviously the hot debate with the bill, the constitutional review, where there's a push to actually establish a constitutional court as soon as possible before the overall process of constitutional. And it's rocking the social media in terms of how. So I just wondered how you felt when listening to the passion coming out of the president yesterday.
I always tell people that when Advocate Dumaboko is speaking, I see it. And I always say I see it. Even when I'm in a conversation with him, I tell him, whenever you talk about the future, I see it, So yesterday was just a free masterclass. And for those who didn't listen, it's quite unfortunate, but at least we have technology now. You can always go back. But it was just a pure masterclass of what legislation is about. And him trying to convince the whole country of the importance of going this route. So I think the man is quite good, and is one of my inspirations. When I grow up, I want to
be like Dumaboko.
When I grow up, I want to be like Dumaboko.
He was in his element, spicing with a little bit of Latin here and there. And I just can't believe the memory. He's exactly my age.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, man, I can't remember, pages of 149 and 1992, case between this one and that one, cases in Zimbabwe, cases in South Africa, Lord Atkin in the Caribbean. Joe.
I think the man just, not to me, he epitomizes passion. He's passionate about what he does. He's passionate about advocacy, and you can, the passion, you can almost taste it. So that's how he is, and he's just a passionate man about law, and now that passion has actually morphed into the love for the country, which is the patriotism, So yeah, I think is for us young soldiers behind him, we get excited and recharged every time. Yeah, so we'll be like, and I want to be like, hey,
I'm sure it's also quite amazing. Exactly. Also being, people complain about leadership. In other words, whether people agree or disagree. Yeah. But I'm sure the feeling of that you being rightly led, is that what you feel, or
he confessed recently that he's a dreamer. I myself consider I'm a dreamer. Being an architect or being trained in the School of Architecture, you see things that people don't see. Majority of the time is you see the future. You see a structure before it's been built. So whenever he speaks, I relate to that because I can see what he's saying. When he speaks of profitability in Botswana Railways, profitability in Air Botswana, BAM, the Botswana being spectacularly different in the next 3 years. I see that because, I think I've been designed like that. I can see the future. I can see what he's saying in that regard. So when we talk about having a speed train, and it's actually those people that are considered crazy that ultimately
that
change
make the world. Yeah,
I think it's Steve Jobs who said that.
Yes.
But he said he's a dreamer, and when he says that, for us who actually believe him or who see what he's trying to achieve, it's marvelous to be living in those times.
And you're not just sucking up because
I'm
he's
not
your
just.
leader.
I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not looking for ministry. I'm not looking
Yes.
for anything.
Yes.
You know, but I would rightfully say it. Even if I was just an ordinary citizen, I
Sure.
would definitely say it.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think I'm not the only one who feels like that, because this change was brought by young people. And it's young people who yearn for a better future.
Transformation.
Yeah, for transformation that actually voted this party into power.
Okay. Keoagile, just before we get into your career on the architect and getting into politics, just who is Keoagile as a man? Whether, are you married? You've got kids?
Yeah.
Umang.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in Orapa. I was born there. I'm the 7th child of 9 kids.
It's a big family.
It's a big family, you know. You don't leave your plate, mofriji, and expect to find something.
Yeah.
So, I grew up in Orapa, school there for my primary, finished my last primary in Letakane, and then junior went to Letakane until my senior secondary school, and then from there I went to study architecture in Pretoria. I'm a married man, you know, relatively new in this marriage space, and I'm a first-time father.
Nice.
Of a boy. So
congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
How old is he?
He just turned 2 on the 9th of November.
So Rago Manyano.
Keoagile Atamelang.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So,
okay.
I think in terms of my background, family background, that's where I met, and then I'm a creative also. I consider myself a citizen of the creative space.
Okay, so, and just talk about it in relation to now your architectural background.
Yes. Yeah. So I've always been inclined to objects, color, space, you know, culture, photography, art, and I've always been drawn to that. So whenever I am, I look at things, objects, and so that's what I like.
So you're quite natural to architecture.
Yeah, so it came in the love for drawing also, the appreciation of art. So that's where I think it started from a younger age. You know, my mom recently, after I won the elections, she showed me a certificate of, you know, the best in drawing, standard 1.
Okay, nice.
Like, you know,
that's special.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Like,
standard 1.
Standard 1. Like, you know, most people are learning to hold a crayon.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I think it has always been like that. I'm a creative. I'm a self-taught graphic designer. You know that Arichenchan logo.
Yes,
the two brains and it's actually
it was you.
Yes,
you're the man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
okay.
I'm a creative in that regard. So.
That's interesting, and it's a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
Because I have a whole philosophy about creative art.
Yeah.
And infusing it into our national discourse, what is still very inadequate.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look at places like Bo, and I see there are pockets of it in Gaborone now, like Bo, UAE, Bo, Dubai, when there's art everywhere, the creatives are being felt everywhere. The buildings talk. We'll talk about
the creative industry.
Yes. I'll see you next year.
Yeah, because there's some of the things that I hurdles that I tried to actually attempt, but I failed because of the setup that was there.
Okay.
In terms of creative industry, so there's a lot that needs to be done for the creatives as well.
Absolutely. Now coming to you as a politician, we had a long discussion before we started about what really triggered you to go into politics as a member of Parliament for Boteti East, and now as Assistant Minister of Roads and Infrastructure, being a rookie. And that's really what I want us to focus on, to say, with all these high expectations from the UDC government, which, as far as I'm concerned, you can transfer to Africa level, it's almost like the parliamentary units have have disappointed in terms of delivery.
Yeah.
And that is why, as we said earlier, there's so much pressure and there's so much impatience as well.
That's true.
But what was your I need to join politics now?
Okay, from a personal point of view, is like I said, upon graduation from South Africa, I came into this country, excited to say, what, I'm gonna incorporate what I've learned and try to bring it here. I'm gonna start my own firm. I'm gonna design. I'm gonna focus on trying to come up with Botswana architecture, Botswana architecture. Tectonics that when you look at this building, you're like, this is a building from Botswana. That's how they build. I'm gonna incorporate mud huts technology. I was excited to go that route, but because of the legal frameworks that existed, it was difficult to actually practice. So that was one of the frustrations that I came across, And then trying to access funding for startups also, trying to design. Like I said, I'm a creative, and I'm so attracted to objects and all. I wanted to design lights or manufacture strange, but I think they're beautiful lights. But I was met with stumbling blocks along the way. And then from a social point of view, growing up, coming from Boteti, like I said, I grew up in a mining town. And at the time, it was, the best thing ever that could have happened in this country. It was a self-sustainable settlement, or, it had everything. I always tell people that, I'm a diamond child. Yeah. Very, very fortunate. There was a milkman, there was a newspaper guy, there was Orapa TV, there was Orapa radio in the 90s.
It was a little kingdom by itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It had everything. So generation of power. There was an orchard, there was a dairy farm, all these things in a small little desert. And I grew up at that time. And then having just before my father retired from the mines, he was a diamond sorter. So just before he retired, I got transferred into Letakane.
The village nearby.
The village nearby. Now the reality just changed. The transition was almost like a culture shock, because there now it's poverty that is beyond explanation. So you couple that experience with personal frustrations and being youth, and opportunities, you see them, but the government of the day is not facilitating. You grow up with that negative energy. You want to explode. You want to, but your moral compass doesn't allow you to get into drugs. Doesn't allow you to distract yourself with things that will not contribute to your personal growth. So couple all those. And then with I don't know if it's a stroke of luck or what, or being in a place where advocacy for the region was always been said, from grandparents to parents to uncles to people who lived along the village, that no, we produce diamonds, but we don't have a hospital. We produce diamonds, but we don't have the best schools. We produce diamonds, but we don't have roads. We produce diamonds, we don't have electricity. So you couple all those things and you realize, you need to, like my Mahatma Gandhi said, if you want to be the change you want to be, you want to see, So I think it started from that, and then it just grew, and then participating in these social dialogues with politicians, and then they kind of see a potential in you, and that, you get roped in. But, that's how it happened. That's how it happened.
That's interesting, because it almost, would we be right to say it came from frustration? It was fed by frustration, and the need to do something. Was it?
Most definitely. I was always surrounded by people who were complaining a lot.
Mm.
And from academia, from professionals, to just people who are just citizens, ordinary citizens.
Mm.
And most of the time it became a pity party where you're like, we can't do anything. But hey, you know, that's how things are. Hey, one day, but you know, even my age mate as well. You know, I remember we used to complain about we need to be registered, we need to be absorbed, we need to start our own firms. And when ARC came through, there was a bit of resistance to register from a lot of professionals. And you know,
this is the architecture registration
council.
Yeah.
So, you know, it grew from there. And then I'm like, you know what, I need to do something. You know, you can't say we don't have good leaders, and you tear the leader who's in that office at that time, tear him down. He's not capable of this. He's not well read. He's not well. But you are there. You feel like you are a better person or a better candidate to suit that office, but you don't do anything. So what's the point? You just keep on complaining. So I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna stop complaining, and I'm gonna take things into my own hands, and I'm going to carve my way out of this. So I joined Architects Association of Botswana, ran for the ordinary member seat, got elected, tried to, you know, ignite or spark some sort of reforms there. But, you know, there was a bit of resistance, and then went for a second term, and yeah. So that's how it went to, I really need to do something for myself and stop complaining. I need to step up. You know, going back to what Dumaboko said, this is the best time to be actually in control. So yeah, that fire came from that place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, because it's interesting, because as we said earlier, I'm also an engineer, and you know, the space of political discourse and, you know, under the tree and freedom squares and all that, it's quite a muddy space.
No, that's true.
And you are, you know, like you said, you because you're under 40, we're gonna say you're fairly a young man coming to the game. And how was it when you, for the first time, you won an election seat with all the, you know, with all the fuss and the noise around the UDC wave and all that. And when you answer that, I also want you to just, there's no way one can become a politician, in my view, without having a really defined political philosophy. What is yours?
Yeah, I'm a product of Botswana People's Party philosophy. They believe in land.
And this is one of the smaller parties in Botswana. It's
the oldest.
It's the oldest party.
The oldest.
Quick to correct me.
Yeah, the first political party in Botswana. They just believe in access to land. You know, they believe that indigenous people need land. That's how you economically empower a citizen. Give them access to land. You know, it's up to them to mine,
what they do with
to grow food, to rear animals, but give them access to land. It has always been like that. And when that gospel reached me, coming from a place where diamonds are mined and you don't see that beneficiation value chain, you know, you jump on that bandwagon as quickly as possible. So it has always been like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's quite interesting, because now you come with this philosophy. You've seen the gospel. You've been around. You were a small boy at the time when BNF splits, and one of your uncles is running for the council seat at some point, and you listen to these philosophies and you reasoning, school of thoughts, you know, and it feeds your argument or your philosophy towards. So it becomes now easy to morph into the under the tree politics. But again, my intention is to sell a new narrative. You know, what would happen imagine this, what would happen if we have a politician who doesn't have scandals? a politician who doesn't have sticky fingers, a politician who's genuinely for the people. And that was my campaign tool, to say, you know what, we're not gonna splash money, we're not gonna.
You're not buying chibuku for the
Tlhakane. Yeah, you just go straight. And my campaign was house to house. I sat with the people, I had conversations. First question, what has changed to you? What is it that you hope could be done about Boteti? And it is interesting that the things that you would hear from people, from a genuine space, doing washing, laundry there, you just chill under the tree and you just talk. I did that for all the wars that I was running for. House to house. It does magic, and you get people now become in touch with you because they felt like they engage well with you, as opposed to you're under the tree and you're insulting people and you're insulting even political parties that are
You don't do that. You don't do that to your opponents.
No, I don't. It's just logic. That's what I do.
Do you think you are, and sorry to use the language, you are being, Lord Anderson talked about, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
In terms of, are you now being naive in terms of thinking you can come in with a clean politician, do things right, stay away from sticky fingers? What's it dinalanyana, as they say? I mean, that's a beautiful thing, and I think a lot of people have been put off with politics, because politics, what does it be? People say one thing, they do another. Some go there to enrich themselves. You see, the guy is ordinary. The next thing, 5 years in parliament, he's driving big cars, and the kids are going, in South Africa for school.
Yeah.
So, do you consciously believe that's possible? Because that would be quite a breakthrough in our environment. It's not like the Botswana thing we've seen in South Africa, we see in the rest of Africa. And this has been a trend.
Yeah.
How the hell are you going to stay away from that trend?
I think my question will always be, is it really impossible? I think that is the starting point. Is it really impossible? I don't think it's impossible. I think Africa now needs those kind of leaders. Because the delay of progress in Africa has always been that politician you just described. But the question is it really impossible, though, to have people who genuinely care about Africa? Maybe there's the time. Maybe I'm naive, like you say. Maybe it's just naivety.
Once you go around with your nice black car and
the next thing
escorted everywhere.
I get excited
and
I love
you
power.
go to speeches, everybody has to stand up. You have to allow them to sit.
But again, it also, like I always say, if you starve your distractions and then you feed your focus, you can easily, or at best, try to navigate through these
you've put it very nicely.
So it's like I said, it's that if I know very well that I want to change the narrative, or at least I gave myself the task or the responsibility to change that narrative, it's up to me to actually starve my distractions. I'm from a humble background. I know you don't get rich overnight. You need to work hard for your things. And if at all I become wealthy, it should be within the confinement of what I earn or what I worked
hard for.
What I worked hard for. I can't just overnight now become a billionaire because I'm in a political space. So I think
where's that moral code? Where does it come from? Because sometimes people that are fed by something, like I say, maybe from family, maybe from religion, maybe from whatever. Where does that come?
It's my parents.
Say a bit more.
Like I said, my father was Atamelang. My mom Kene Taolani Atamelang. My father passed on 2021.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry about that, buddy.
I would have loved
to see the win.
Yeah. So
you'll be a proud man.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, when I think about him, it's just he's been a humble man all his life. You know, he's considered one of those quiet people, and he's opinionated but quiet. So that moral campus came from my parents. You know, from a young age, we've been told to respect people. You know, I grew up and I know people think it's a lie. I've never heard my mom utter a bad word, you know. I've never had my pops do that, like, never.
They don't cuss, they don't swear,
No.
they don't...
You know, once in a while but it's once in a while.
Yes.
It shocks you, Aban. But it's one of those, but hella, another human being, hella just swear words like never.
They never use that.
Yeah.
And you've adopted that.
And they've been together, and I'm not saying they're perfect. They've been together for, I think, almost 50 years.
That's impressive.
And I've never had them fight or argue. Maybe harrobetsi or when they're alone there. But I've never, and my pops has always been telling us, or never lay hands on a woman.
Wonderful.
So it has always been like
So you took it from family, straight from family.
Straight from family.
Yeah.
And they were not even church-going people, like on a Sunday. No. It's just, I don't know where they get it, but they were cultured like that. And we were raised like that. So, yeah.
Keoagile, you've now entered Parliament. And as I said, there's a lot of expectations coming from that. But what really concerns me is the demography of Parliament in terms of both gender. I think you know that we only, as an 8% of Parliament is women. In terms of youth, when I was comparing with developed countries, even some countries in Africa, we're way behind. I mean, there are very few. I think we only have one parliamentary who's under 30. Lesego Chombo is the only one who's under 30. But even if you go to under 40, there's still statistics is still very bad according to IPU standards, the Interparliamentary Union. I mean, they have standards that it should be at least 15%, and we are way. So now you coming, and having been now in Parliament for this 12 months. I mean, how does it feel to be in the company of old men? You know, do they? I mean, it can be quite crowding.
Yeah, it's
especially policy view, because then you got to talk about education. You got to talk about AI. You got to talk about that. I mean, how?
I think, like I said, now for me, I decided or deliberately took a stand that I'm going to be a sponge, just absorb all these things, absorb all this wisdom. I mean, there's wisdom in age, though.
No, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
There's wisdom in age, and age also can be without age. I mean, without wisdom. So yeah, it's quite. You just weigh, because sometimes you get age that doesn't have wisdom. Sometimes you just get wisdom from. So in terms of how it is around that wisdom that comes with age and experience, it's quite a learning curve, you know, because these guys have been around, they know how things are, and they can, you know, like you said, when you talk about being naive, they tell you, you know, I've had some come even from the opposite aisle, tell me, no, you know what, you are in the space, you are young and you are naive, shy away from this. They're going to come to you with genuine advice. You know, I like you, I feel like you have potential, but this is how you navigate the space. So we are still at 8%. It's quite low. And the aim is to actually go higher. And I believe, you know, with change being our mandate, we are going to get there, you know. I remember when I was appointed, the president said something profound to me. He told me, you know, you are young and inexperienced and you are going to make mistakes. But make mistake with good intentions. If it's a mistake that is made out of good intention,
it's okay.
It's okay. And I know I'm throwing you in the deep end, but, you know, just do your best. I've heard you express yourself in terms of advocacy for development of Botswana. So I think you'll do well. And that on its own, come mistakes, come criticism, and, you just develop a thick skin, because he who entrusted you with this portfolio told you that, you know what, I have you. So, yeah.
But, I mean, I have to be careful with these politicians because they'll answer me in a very political way.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel lonely, sometimes unheard because of a youth voice? That's really what does that sometimes happen? Or these wise older men, there are very few elderly women like Bomadao and them, but do you sometimes feel that sense of if I only had a couple of guys like me who we could actually help
change.
From a different diversified parliament has got its own benefits in terms of perspectives, how you see things.
No, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. I mean, if we had more numbers, youthful numbers, would change the course of discussion or whatever direction we want to go for. With the more the merrier. But yeah, I do sometimes feel like, you know what, maybe a youthful voice is needed, or a platform to express yourself. But we have Kelebeng and Chombo there.
Yes.
Yeah. So that like I'll be like, I second that. Representing the youth. Yeah. So but we need to be. We need more numbers in that
on
regard.
The youth and the women's side.
Yeah.
Especially with the current society that we have, that's having a lot of culture and social ills. I mean, people want to feel and see you guys as role models.
Yeah.
And the more of you, the more impact.
Yeah.
When you hear old people talking about GBV and all that's like, so that do they understand us?
They don't understand.
They understand our issues.
Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, again, Africa is the youngest continent. The demography shows that we are. Any African country you take it, you find that the majority of the population is youth.
It's youth, yeah.
So I think this is the right time now to actually push the youth forward and hear their voices. And they're actually changing Africa. If you follow the current affairs, they just, the youth are, now we have the Gen Zs who don't really take no for an answer.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it is important because going back to what you said earlier, the frustrations that you have that led you to raise your hand. I mean, going around, I do a lot of speaking. I do a lot of, as you know, even with the podcast and all that. There are a lot of youth like you, where you are frustrated with a number of things, and it's highly important that you and Chombo and Kelebeng, you become the champions. I mean, let's just mention your party. People like Bofeni Shakelede, he's quite young. Also obviously from the opposition bench. So they need to see that I can also join politics, because I think there's a lot of frustration with politicians. I mean, if you look at the African complexion in terms of old men, Bomanangagwa, you got guys who are over 80 around Africa who are still dominating. But Remu Seveni, they're still wanting to run. I mean, that's the complexion that we're getting across Africa.
And it's interesting because when you go to other countries, they're like, you guys are, is it the cuisine or what is it in Botswana that you guys are just changing? You're so youthful. There was a time I was in a panel discussion about railway lines, and I'm like, and I'm the youngest there.
With the other ministers from Africa.
Yeah. And not just that, even the room itself, the audience. Like, yeah.
No, we got to change the demographic.
We need to change.
I can see that I'm putting pressure on you. I got to wait, try again. Yeah, because it is. I mean, I have sons, I have daughters that are in their 20s. And there is that frustration. Are we adequately represented? So
and then the other thing that I feel like the those who are in power, regardless of whether it's political or a private sector, we don't have succession plans. I can tell you how many engineering firms do you know that are named by their founders.
Yeah.
When the guy reaches retirement, gone. That brand is gone.
I know.
Because there was never a succession plan. You know, there's so many firms we could just name. You know, this. And we don't have a succession plan culture. So that's why you find that it's very, very difficult now as somebody who's not known, as a youth, to actually now be given a platform to be in leadership position. But now that has changed, you know. Even though it's 8%, but it has changed. Because for other people, it's not even 8%, you know. So we are grateful for that. But we believe we could do better. Yeah.
Now, let's come back to Parliament from an instrument of transformation. You are there, and I want you to just give us a fresh perspective, because some of us and many others have never been there. And because you've dipped in there for 12 months, just give us the nuggets. I got a shock here, I got a shock here. And within the context of what Parliament is supposed to do to influence the agenda of the country, you know, from your Vision 2036 and so. So can you just, you know, how it's been so far, and whether, I mean, you got in Parliament, you got committees, you've got all sorts, you got opposition, you got, I mean, how do you weigh Botswana Parliament in terms of from your 12 months experience?
It was a shocker. You know, it was a shocker, and I don't want to lie, I wasn't that excited. You know? There was anxiety was more than the excitement itself. Bro, I stepped in. You know, the first time I got into Parliament was from the gallery side. You know, when you school tours and all that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm actually here.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, for real. I'm actually here, and you are raising your hand. You are, you know, that whole thing. And then comes the business, because with us, you know, the elections the winners were announced, and on Monday it was Parliament. It was Parliament, and the proceedings, and get hit. You are given an opportunity to answer on behalf of the ministry, and it was one roller coaster ride, I must say, because I remember when the business started, the question time, then the ministry was given questions, and the DM was a hot topic.
Yes.
And you know, I had a little bit of knowledge of what the DM, but
from your industry perspective.
From the industry perspective. But when I was in the AAB, Architects Association of Botswana, we didn't even have enough information about the DM.
Yes.
So I was still in that confinement of, I don't know much about this. And then the question comes, and I get given this question. When I arrived in the chambers, the question comes. And they knew that this question was supposed to be answered. So, you know, it almost felt like it was a betrayal. Because you are reading this question, and coming from the industry side.
Yeah, the expectations are high.
Yeah, you'd be like, no, man, this question is not giving me that conviction to actually answer it. And I think Salashando was giving me a tough time. You know, but I kept on saying, no. The DM is under review.
The development model.
And then I went to say, I really don't know what to say anymore, because a review means you are reviewing all the decisions that you took, positive and negative. So and then I threw it back to him to say, you can't focus on the aspect of money that the budgets have been. No, not the budgets. He was saying loss of jobs. Yeah, you can't focus on that one. Why can't you then focus on another aspect of increased budget, because the money was not there. But with our media, they took that part where I said, I don't know what to say anymore.
And they made a big deal of it.
And then they cut that clip where I said, I don't know what to say anymore. And then it's like, this young minister doesn't even know what he's talking about. And then it caught fire. I became famous. They made a meme out of me. It's like when I send you this picture, just know that I don't know anything. I'm like, these guys are brutal, you know. And it's the youth. That's just why.
What a letdown.
Yeah, what a letdown. But you know, it's again coming from a school of architecture. You develop a thick skin because not everyone comes out graduating from that because it's brutal, you know.
Yeah.
But I was able to take it. But yeah, it was a roller coaster ride of just emotions and just you know, you are scared to say the wrong things. You are scared to disappoint the president. You are scared to disappoint your parents, your friends, people who
it's
know
all
you.
televised.
And it's all televised.
Yeah.
And you'll be saying, we need parliament to be televised so that we can see it. And then the next thing you are the one who's there. Yeah, ne? But yeah, it's interesting. But now I think with the 12 months I sort of learned the ropes. I've seen the pattern, and I'm starting to see where wisdom is, you know. So yeah,
you can navigate your way through.
I can navigate my way through. I can see, these arguments are you know, and I'm starting, and also every opportunity I get to speak, I always speak about my constituency. If you can go back to the Hansard, you go back to, you know, I've always maintained that for us to go forward, especially in mining communities, we need what I coined the contextual beneficiation law, a law that will actually establish a value chain development framework, and then a law that says, you know, if it's a mining community, whatever value chain you want to, be it processing of that product or whatever, the first priority starts with that community.
Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunate you mine diamonds and then you cut them in Gaborone, you polish them in Gaborone or in Europe, but you don't even have
something with the community that's surrounding.
You know, if you look at Las Vegas, it's a desert, but they were intentional. If you look at the history of Johannesburg, it was just land there, nothing, and these guys came and built the infrastructure. But now all we know is, Letagana is just a dusty village. But you know what? Even Las Vegas has sandstorms. So even go Dubai, they have sandstorms. So what?
And you're right, because what happens with the mining houses is that now you become sort of CSI recipient instead of genuine development, isn't it? I mean, that is like a pity. It's like, that doesn't really build.
And I became public enemy just recently. I was invited to one of these mining shows in Gaborone. And they start telling me, no, it's a free show. We even have kids from around Gaborone City region to come attend and to, you know, I asked, what about the kids from Boteti? Did you bring the kids to Boteti to come listen, to see engineers from the mining sector, to see bankers, to see all these stakeholders in the industry of mining? Did you give an opportunity of a child to Boteti to come see that it's not just about diamonds? It could be a service to the service of service in diamonds. You know, there's a value. Did you do that? Because if you do just a quick study, ask the kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's either a policeman, driver ride council, or
it's still like that.
Or mulimisi. You know, it's still
when
like
they have
that.
engineers just next door.
When they have engineers next door. So I said, you know what? This is the last time I attend a mining show, a mining summit in Gaborone. Because I feel like these shows need to be closer to the communities.
Absolutely.
So if it's in Jane, I'll come. If it's in Maung, I'll come. If it's in or closer to that particular mine, I'll come. Because now it gives meat to the bone to say, this is what we talk about beneficiation. You know, we can't take it from just the face value to say we can have a diamond museum in Gaborone and it's still fine. But back in what they did, it's a different story. You know, I remember leading to elections also. I was invited to debate on beneficiation. I think I had the Minister of Minerals at the time,
Relefoko.
Moagi. I had the BCP brought a professor there, and BPF brought, I think, Katamurupis, I'm not sure. And you are a rookie there again, and it's like, you're in the company of wisdom. I think everyone was given the first introductory speeches. Yeah, I asked, when it was my turn, I just asked a simple question of the grading of diamonds. How do you grade the diamonds? I started with the guys who were competing for the seats. Started with Ramoagi all the way to Rakatamurupisi. And then I went to the moderator. I went to the crowd. How do you classify a diamond? Simple thing that you could actually teach in primary.
Absolutely.
But nobody answered. You can go watch that thing. Nobody answered already. A diamond is classified ka color, ka inka, clarity, and all those things. But we don't know those things. But how
Yet we say we're a diamond country.
And we say we are a diamond country. So that was my argument during that whole debate. And, and it's true. We don't even know how to classify a diamond. I went to an extent of saying, you know what, this thing needs to be taught in school. Technical design and technology subjects, for example. You can get acrylic pieces, plastic. Teach kids how to shape diamonds. Acrylic, you don't need
real
stone
diamond.
polishing. We need
No,
to go that route. And that is what beneficiation is all about. If you can, now we know a bit of beef, of the cattle industry. We know certain breeds, but that is a typical example of how to measure beneficiation. Is to ask a 5-year-old kid about that industry. They will tell you.
Because you're right. I mean, even the kids, if you ask them what in terms of if you ask them what a filet hakai mokomong, some of them will not tell you where this crowd. It's all even a farmer. Not filet hakai.
I can't tell you.
But we say we are a cattle, we are a beef country, and people don't even know.
And that's how you measure beneficiation. If you can answer...
knowledge. Knowledge society. That is the knowledge society.
Exactly. Yeah. If you can answer that, that's that small thing, then at least you are heading somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know how one also who kids talking about council drive, which is not wrong, by the way. It just shows that when it comes to the beneficiation aspect of governance, a driver, a policeman, a nurse, mulimisi, you could see in terms of beneficiation, the definition, beneficiation, that service has arrived. But with diamonds, it's totally different. With agriculture,
it's different. Yeah.
We don't even know the species I can't tell you that. I'm asking. I can't. But variety. You talk of the creative industry. I love baskets. Those things didn't need shape. Yeah, those patterns, they have names and meanings.
Is it?
Nobody knows about these things.
Yes, we want to export them and what?
We want to export them, but how do you then achieve ultimate beneficiation if you and the other thing I've always been an advocate for is, if you are going to talk about giving back to the society, you spend 600,000 in an event and then donate the 50,000 pula check. There's a disconnect there. Like I've never
understood the formula.
I don't understand. Like, how do you spend $1 million and give back a quarter or 10% of that, and then it almost as if you are just dangling the carrot into that community that you are saying you want to uplift. So,
no, I understand, and I think these are the type of things that I want to get from you. Like you said, we are talking about the knowledge economy. And I've always said knowledge economy is not about connectivity. It's about knowledge, IP, that's special, that you can even be able to monetize at some stage. And like you said, you can't go beneficiation unless you go across the beef value chain to know which portions are special, which ones are pricier, which ones... Things that Maburu do in South Africa. I mean, they can give you... Look, when they can actually cook and do force and tell you this meat, I mixed this one and that one. That's where we need to get
deliberate intentions.
Now, with Parliament and policy making, I want you to now, what you have seen, do you believe that it can indeed transform the country? I know we've got the BTP, which is the Economic Transformation Plan.
Yeah.
We've got the National Development Plan 12 and the Vision 2036 and all that, where we have very ambitious. Now, with your 12 months and your honest view, do you believe as an instrument of transformation? I mean, you touched on education, you talk about beneficiation and very topical issues that I'm sure that are even there in the NDP. Do you believe that when I interview you in 5 years' time, you said, I told you that Parliament, with my participation, can make a dent. Check the dent.
No, most definitely. I 100% believe it's possible. Yeah. I'll give you an example. Let me say I'll be biased, focusing only on my ministry.
Okay.
The Ministry of
Roads and Infrastructure.
Transport and Infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's the skeleton of the economy. You can't, as an economy, you can't grow if you don't have the right or the proper infrastructure in place. So when you look at the BETP, when you look at NDP 12, when you look at all these projects that are trying to unlock the economic growth, and when we implement them, I promise you, I'll be sitting here, I'll be like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I'll give you an example. For example, the rail corridors that we are doing. We have the Mosetseka-Zungula-Livingston rail corridor.
Yeah.
We don't have a rail line that links us to Zambia.
I know.
So the moment you just build that railway line, now you've connected the port of maybe Durban with Zambia.
And not maybe Zambia with DRC
with
as
DRC,
well.
yes. And with the recent announcement of the Congo market for beef, I'm from Boteti, and Boteti and Ngamiland share the same cries of lack of access to market with their beef because of proximity to the wildlife areas.
Feet on mouth concerns. Yeah.
But now we have an opportunity to sell to Zambia. There's a rail link. If it gets built, I promise you, it's a game changer. Just that.
Is it going to happen, dude?
It has to happen.
Because, I always tell people, the biggest, most ambitious project which has ever been done in Botswana was done in 1898, which was this railway. And from that, there's always been a shy away from doing. I mean, Cecil John Rhodes built the railway right across. But Martin's Drift is so small, it's such a big deal.
Yeah.
And then you're in Akazungula. I mean, can you look them in the eye and say, you guys are putting all you can to make sure that happens? Because you're right. I mean, I totally agree with you.
Like I always say, speaking of Cecil John Rhodes, I'd be like, sometimes with the advancement of civilization, feasibility studies. Cecil John Rhodes was just...
Exactly. Just do the damn thing.
Just do it.
Yeah. The benefits will
come. But now you get. I was attending a rail conference, I think it's either Zambia or South Africa, I can't remember very well. The guys in Swaziland were saying they're sitting on a 10-year-old feasibility study. 10 years.
A railway.
Yeah, railway. A railway line which is actually shorter than the one that Sister John Rhodes did. But now, feasibility
paralysis
analysis. Hey, what do guys?
Just do the thing.
Just do. Yeah. Right now, we are trying to liberalize or have an open access to the railway line. If you want to bring your train there into this railway line, just bring it. That's what we need to do. But now this whole feasibility study, it's you are trying to justify why it cannot be done.
Yeah, that's true.
At the end of the day, feasibility studies, that's my personal opinion. It's almost as if you are trying to justify why it cannot be done because you take forever to do it.
So where are we right now? Are we in the feasibility for that?
Feasibility studies are nearing completion.
Okay.
Transactional advisors are same as the Trans-Kalahari and the Mama Bulele Palala. But the Mama Bulele Palala one, it's the agreements between the executives, South Africa and Botswana. I think that is where it's a bit stalling there.
Okay.
We need
but it's still in feasibility as well. I thought that was that one is at more advanced.
Yeah, it's a low-hanging fruit, that one.
Okay.
But like you said, it has always been spoken of for the longest time.
Yeah.
So back to your question, is it possible? The new government or the new administration has said we want a private sector-led infrastructure development. We want investors to come through to build these projects through triple Ps or whatever method, because again, advancement of civilization, they are developing methods of delivery. So whatever method that is deemed suitable and beneficial for the country will go. But when these investors come through and they start building these railway lines, I promise you, this country will change. The challenge right now is just unlocking access to funding. That's all we need to do. But the projects have already been laid out. You take the Trans-Kalahari railway line also, the discovery of a 42 or 45 kilometer stretch of almost pure iron in the Okavango side from the Shakawe
Northwest.
region.
The Northwest.
The Northwest. That is a game changer, And with the copper belt by Kwemaka, with the lithium, manganese, these are game changers. And you build a railway line, you just kill it in our language.
Okay, so that's the vision around projects, and that can, like you said, change the infrastructure outlook, which is critical. And I agree with you as an engineer that infrastructure is the backbone. I think that iron ore potential in the Northwest, part of the challenges was actually how to get it to market, which is infrastructure.
Exactly.
So it can kill a very good project without the infrastructure. So we look forward to that. But let's get back to that also has to go through Parliament, I assume. But your confidence in what you guys are doing, I know you're speaking for your ministry by and large, but do you believe that the configuration of Parliament can facilitate delivery of these the way it's structured right now? Is there, if it was something that you say, if I was to reform something in Parliament, it would be 1, 2 to make it a lot more efficient. Is there any thoughts in that?
No, there are definitely more reforms on the way. More reforms. Like I said, the UDC is a government of change, and change is our constant. So we need to come up with reforms. For example, the railway line. We need to open it up.
Yes, liberalize it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to liberalize it. Get private. We have people who are coming to us to say, I want my train to pass here because I can only market in the Congo. The guy says, I have a train. I just want to go to Congo.
The railway line is there, but the law does not allow it. That's really what you're talking about.
Hey, what I'm saying is we can build the railway line, but the law doesn't allow that train to pass through.
Yes.
But again, because of our geographical location, every infrastructure project that we can do, especially in terms of development of corridors, it's a viable project. We don't even need to use it ourselves. We just need to facilitate Namibia and Mozambique
and they will
trade.
Just like these trucks that are loitering in the borders. It shows that trade is...
We don't, and then
those lines, those kilometers
there's a feasibility studies that are, it gets back to...
the feasibility story.
It's like Namibia and Mozambique are saying they want to trade. We are busy, feasibility studies, and this thing, these corridors have been talk of
for many years, for decades.
Many years.
Talk us about roads, because roads is closer to the people.
Roads.
In terms of key ones, I mean, you talk about the railway lines, just to
in terms of roads, again, the dualing of A1, that will be a game changer as well.
Is it feasible, by the way? Can I sometimes we talk things feasible? I know we are back to the feasibility thing, but in the end, besides of the project and the traffic and the projections of traffic, maybe, I mean, you are closer to the studies, maybe it is feasible.
Yeah.
But what I believe in is that you got to get people to start paying for the use of the roads, which is, basically recovering some of the costs.
No, the feasibility of this corridor is there. We have traffic for starters. I mean, there was. I remember during my interactions with the officials. Then once one of them says, "No, they did a study in 2010, and it was not feasible." That's 2010 by the way.
Yeah.
2010.
15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, anyone can own a car. Anyone can own a truck. It's easier now than then. And
actually, the flood of cars in the market has been quite amazing.
And there's a need. Consumerism has gone up now. So there's need for movement of goods, movement of people, movements of trucks. So from that standpoint, it is feasible. Again, it unlocks other markets. Like I said, Botswana is just a transit platform. If you want to move from Namibia
you have to go across.
You have to pass through. We don't even need to use this A1 road ourselves. We just need to facilitate people to go through our country. That's the justification, or the basics of the justification that we need. So if we dual it, there's more traffic flow, there's more inflow of goods, outflow of goods, there's more goods that are in transit, and we could now start to charge people more and recover our funds. So in that regard, but again, we are waiting for the paralysis analysis to come give us the
just quickly, Arain, from your ministry, I mean, one of the perils of the ministry for the many years, and we've discussed this before, is actually the execution of these projects in terms of either prioritization or doing projects that you wonder, how do you have this road there when there's a better need this side, just because a politician makes more noise in a particular district to build a road? I mean, I've seen roads across the country like, but 200 million Wamudimo. Why couldn't we put, because Gaborone is congested. I mean, people, whenever there's a little rain, we need more, these intersections. I mean, it's not fancy. It's actually, it's trade.
Thank you for that question. You see, I think for the longest of time, infrastructure justification was more of a political score points than actually looking at the potential of economic growth.
Correct.
You get a 200 million Pula budget being injected in a road that doesn't unlock a production area, that doesn't unlock travel, and there are so many places we could name where a small village has all directions, has a
road, tarmac.
Tarmac, 50 kilometers, all directions, but they can't even produce 1 ton yamabele. You ask yourself, where did we? So when you look at some of the roads that I actually advocated for, some of these roads, they could actually unlock production areas. For example.
The one we took to Kaka. Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
that road leads to Sandveld, and it can even lead to CKGR. I mean, if you are intentional about unlocking tourism, it can go that far. So we are thinking that if you could do a road from Letakane, Kwe via Kaka Farms to Sandveld, and then it joins the Seroe Molepole Road. And then from
that one is close to my heart. I get a Sandveld.
And then from there, from Otse, it goes to A1.
Across.
Yeah,
you don't have to go through Mulepole
yes,
yeah.
and then from A1 it goes to Passolt there, and then you are in South Africa.
Got you.
That is an internal corridor. The moment we just put that road in, I promise you, it's a game changer. The production, now we can tell the farmers now, no guys, produce. The road is there. Produce.
Are you stuck with the feasibility? I'm saying this because when you are talking about lack of ROI on projects and all that, I'm thinking Sandveld has got Nkaka.
Yeah.
They've got the highest number of cattle in Botswana, close to 1 million sitting there. I mean, I've been there, farming there for 10 years.
Yeah.
There's still no access road, and I see all these roads scattered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when is this road going to happen till our back problems get better and our cruisers start being battered by those roads? Just go into the Sandveld.
Exactly as you put it. Do we really need a feasibility study? If at all the Ministry of Agriculture tells us there's 1 million
900
cattle.
farms in there.
Exactly. And we have 900 farms that are not operating at optimum level,
absolutely,
by the way.
Because
majority of their expenditure is fixing their cars, they can't even produce more or logistics-wise, they can't move a lot of cattle. We don't need a feasibility study for that. It's there. The market is there. And again, Sandveld farms, Kaka farms, there are people who are hoarding these farms. They're not using all of them. So if you need to up our head count, this is again an opportunity. And that road will definitely change everything. So that's why I believe when the funds come through, I'll be sitting here, I'll be telling you, no, now we changed. At least for the people who are around that corridor. Bashoshong, Baboboteti, people from the Molepole area, Lebone. And even users of the A1 will say, no, we took an alternative route to Maun. And another example of a road that I advocated for, gets on from Hansi to Tere Rekops. That road, the alignments are not detailed yet because we need to work on that. But imagine now from Hansi you can go to Francistown quicker without
having to go through Maung, through Kuke and
but by Kuke and you just shoot to
across,
and then you are, in no time you're in Francistown. That is another road that should have been given priority, especially during the golden decade when we had more. But like I said, we are living the consequences of decisions that were taken at the time. The economic growth was not a priority. I remember in Parliament I said the EP58, I think it was around 92 or 90 something, and I was barely independent in thought. It's written, boldly written. The government will not pursue self-sufficient in energy production. 92. And that is the time when you had all the money to build solar farms. All the time to make green
Diamonds
energy.
were selling like hotcakes, everything.
But now we are cool with what we have. So we're not going to pursue that route. But after that, now power cuts and we're buying from South Africa. We are beggars, But the new administration now is trying to change that.
The new administration has been in power for 12 months now. You guys have been there for 12 months. There's a lot of expectations, my man, and there's been pockets of frustrations that there's more talking than doing. You risk becoming like the NDP, where, we are so used to plans. I mean, Africa is not short of good talk. Africa is short of the ground actually moving to create our Dubais, our Singapores, and that type of thing. What do you say to those people who say there's been so much talk in the last thing? And then, if you quick wins, I mean, before we talked about, I mean, even the civil service, where you have a culture that's so entrenched, that's frustrating us in the private. When you say private sector led, you got to let us be able to do business with government easily. Not where permits is still an issue, license is still an issue. I mean, for me, look, I'm a private sector guy. I mean, those things don't need 12 months. If you say we're going to have this parliament just to kill. Now I thought your parliament, your July sitting was about basically the red tape one.
Yeah.
Permits, visas, all that kind of stuff. That's just frustrating people.
Yeah.
You want to nail them. So what do you say to that level of frustration? Because they are still your voters.
Yeah. No, I think hope is a very, very important thing that one needs to have, and an exercise of patience. But what I can say is, as a country, now from outside politics, we just need to love our country back. The frustrations that we have, even in as the new administration, they're still there. We want things done as soon as possible, but we are battling with the culture that has been entrenched in people's way of doing things for the longest of time. That's 58 years of an engine that is, I don't want to say running perfectly, but yeah, there are no crinkling sound. It's smooth, but it's very, very difficult to just change those gears, and So that is one thing that is we are challenged with. There's so many inefficiencies, but like again, we are doing reforms one step at a time. But we believe this country can change in the shortest period of time, provided people start loving their country back. I mean, you get people who are influential from the civil service. They'll tell you these red flags. Then they themselves. No, the thing is we need to do, but you are there to actually change it, but you are waiting for a politician to actually say over it. Some of these things you just need to be a Botswana to cut these red flags out. But now we have a population that is frustrated, rightfully so. We have complacency and comfort, from people who just, I'm permanent and pensionable. I go to work, I'll sort this one out. There's a vacancy, it's not filled. What's our leave here, and you are the only person who signs that permit.
What are you doing about it?
Reforms.
That's the big question. Have they started? Should we be seeing?
So far, I think this parliament has done so many reforms compared to other parliaments.
Within the same space of time.
Yeah.
We haven't felt them yet. So tell us about them.
Cut us some slack.
Yeah. Talk to us. Which ones are the most you're a project man. Projects, what I always say, when you have projects that go 2-3 years, you always have the quick win projects.
Yeah.
And if you were now as the let's say in the HE space, and they say for year one, these are 1 to 3. Maybe it's legislation. Sometimes it takes a while to get the feel. Yeah. But you are saying this is what you should now expect from now. Have you got any of those? You said they're on. You're begging me to cut you slack, but talk to me.
I think let's focus on. I'm gonna leave the legislation part off intentionally because, like you said, legislation takes a bit of time. Yeah. But let's just take this BET, Botswana Economic Transformation Program. It had labs that, all these projects that stalled in the past, they were brought onto the stage and they were scrutinized, and all the stakeholders were there. And the beautiful thing about the BET program is that it's also a self-assessing program. So you had all these people who are, let's say if there's a road that needs to be built, you identify what was the problem with it. Permits. The permit guy is there, explains what was the problem. No, it gets solved. Even in implementation, we are going to get to that point where, if there's a
bottleneck,
you
keep chipping bottleneck,
it picks it up. It's like an expanded project management office, of which I advocate for that. We need these project management offices.
Correct,
yeah. But the BETP program is one of those things that, when you talk about 12 months, it's actually one of the brilliant things that ever came out of this administration. Now they are doing these road shows to get players to come in, and it's a very, very beautiful thing. If you ask me, if I'm in the HE space, outside legislation, and also within the BETP, it has all the amendments that we need to do to unlock.
Okay.
Like the liberalization of the railway
Yes, of the
lines.
railway line. It's in there.
It's in there.
Okay.
So, and also it gives you timelines. This can be executed within the shortest period of time. And also allows whoever is involved in that project to actually beat that record time. So it's a very beautiful...
Very unique, yeah.
It's a very beautiful program to have come out of this 12 months. So I think for me that would be my answer. But reforms, the things, the policy, the special development code, we got rid of the development control code. Even the naming itself.
Control.
It tells you how wired we are. Development control code. You don't want to control the development, but you need to be flexible and allow for development. So I think that's where we are heading. And the BETP is going now that is a self-assessing tool. It can be implemented now in all these ministries and all government to say, okay, fine. You get BETP lab there. Things get done. Yeah, but again, it boils down to loving our country back. We have the brilliant of ideas, but the majority of the civil service are hardwired in terms of how things work.
So are you saying, let's take BETP, which, as you said, has been done in a very unique, which has never happened in Botswana before, that matodi next year, we should start seeing, like I said, some of them were a bit blind to those reforms which are built into BETP. That's why sometimes it will be harsh on you guys. And it's important. Politicians should be on the hot seat. We need to pressure cook you guys.
Yes, because I agree we came
represent people, absolutely. Yes, Oscar for granted.
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the things just to go on the side for a bit is that obviously we see you guys gaming in parliament, opposition yourselves, But one other thing that I would like to see more of is actually now in the civic space where people like myself and others, we put you guys to account. You know what I mean? Because we are feeling it. We are not involved with the politics, but we need this. We need this unlocking. And then the public can also comment. This is what I'm planning for next year, where now we'll be sitting here and there will be questions from the floor to say, Rawi, really, BTP.
Most definitely.
So we want more. I mean, we need more accountability.
Let me tell you again, in terms of that 12 months, what we've done. With the BTP also, for the first time ever in the history of this country, we had industry players in one room discussing a project.
I saw that at Bob's. I mean, I saw that.
That's brilliance right there. And
even the public servant, public servants experts with the private sector,
everyone was there. It might not be perfect in other people's observations, but it's an achievement that has never been done before. And also, for the first time, we're seeing a relationship between government and the private sector and everyone who's involved. Just pure consultation in one room. And that is an achievement that has never been done in this country. So if you ask me, what is it that you are most proud of or most fond of this administration, outside the usual business of governance?
Sure.
As the BETP. Yeah. Because now there's that relationship with the private sector. You can openly now come to say, we are thinking you could actually do this and this and this. And it has never happened before. If it had happened, it's, that's a nice suggestion. It gets chucked away. But the BETP lab will actually scrutinize what you've submitted.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. And even the extent of saying submit ideas. Never had before. It has never been done before. But we had an opportunity for Botswana to submit ideas to say, this is how I feel like I can participate in developing the country. Inclusivity we've been saying it for the longest of time, and people are part of this thing.
Good. We'll see BTP. We are very pregnant with expectations for in the next few years because, as you rightly said, apart from with the diamond decline and the headwinds, I think the economic transformation is the big thing that the nation is awaiting. So that's highly important. Now, as we come to an end, Atamelang, I like to now give, like I said, I interface with a lot of youth. You represent the youth side of the public. What would you say? I mean, I recall here what happened to Ndani Boko as a youthful member of parliament. And then before long, he was frustrated. He even mentioned on record mental health issues. What would you say they survive? I mean, you don't want to survive as a youth in parliament. You actually want to thrive.
Yeah, true.
How do we move from, just being an ordinary member of parliament as a youth to actually thriving youthful? How would you excite the guys that are saying 2029, I'm on?
Like I said, starve your distractions. Feed your focus. That is number one. And also, be in a position to accept that all these forces will come at you. You need to be mentally prepared for that. And I know it's very easy talking than actually doing it. But I pray that I don't get sidetracked and but that is how I campus little that I can, the time that I can, let me just feed my focus. I want to merge two villages together, expedite land allocation. I'm working on a project where for the first time ever we are developing, even first time in the country, we are doing a resource center. We don't have a resource center.
In Boteti.
It has all these labs, feeding, we call it labs, feeding lab, a childcare feeding lab, where we are trying to say kids need to go to school. So we are going to develop a program where especially the less fortunate, where the teacher present digitization again, no, is set through the whole hours, goes back to gets a free meal. Because some of these kids are discouraged to go to school because dijo after school.
Yes.
They
like nutrition.
That is where the resource center is going to do. We also have a lab here it's going to be robotics and AI. I mean, guys younger than me, kids, how manela a tablet or a phone, they can easily go to games. Maybe these things. So we need to tap into that brain and see how best we can train these kids from a young age. So that is the direction that we have another lab where it's going to be a entrepreneurship or an economic lab where you're going to learn how to scale your business, start a business, how to apply for these permits, how to navigate through, how to get markets, all these things all in one. And then you have a government lab where all these initiatives, when they get rolled out, you can easily walk in on a Sunday
and get access to.
Especially they can't access. So what we've done is it's actually by the bus rank. This bus rank it connected the whole of Boteti. So the idea is how Choko Kwe just land there. This life skills center. You get free courses, and we are in talks of people who are willing to actually offer courses from certificates and everything that is possible that can be offered to the community. It's a one-stop shop. So if you focus on that, and then you just starve your distractions, it can be easy to navigate the space. I'm just saying it's early. I'm just saying, and there's also a human factor also. But I pray, one of my daily prayers is I shouldn't find myself detracting from what I stand for.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Which is the people of Boteti and the people of Botswana. Now that I have this cabinet responsibility. That is one of my prayers. But tell me, I'm trying by all means to starve my distractions. It can get exciting. Wow. You know, I'm in a black car. People stand up, and it's not for me. It scares me a lot. You know, you making demigods out of ordinary people. I'm an ordinary person, and I get enough people, especially when you are young, when you see somebody older than you.
It can derail you.
It can derail
your mind.
So so now I'm trying by all means to avoid that. To say, even when I know people, but when you are naive and you are humble about fake, and I'm like, no, I've always been like that. People who know me will definitely tell you, this is how this man is, and I'm hoping that I live maintain it until you know. I always say I'm God's project. And you know, a project and it's
beyond you.
It's beyond me. It's going to be perfect at what point? So I'm just like that piece of furniture that has been cut, painted, vanished, you know, dismantled, assembled. You know, I'm like that. So that is, and also the narrative, what could be wrong with just having a different African politician for first time ever, somebody who's young, somebody who's just that thing, what would happen if you could, you know, maybe it's a social experiment to a certain extent, but that is what I aspire, and I hope that all these young legislators in Parliament and who are wishing to come into Parliament have the same belief to say, let us starve our distractions and see, you know, we actually serve this country very, very well. And I want the best for what they do, like, you know.
I can smell it.
I love that
I can
place,
smell it.
because the region it has almost everything. Tourism. Recently, I was going to Keoagile Island. It's just boulders sticking out of a pen. It's a natural wonder, but it's just amazing. We have cattle. We have good soils also. We have this Boteti River channel. I mean, it could, you know, as much as it's a seasonal river, but that's a potential.
We can make something out of it.
Yeah. You know, we have diamonds.
You got the mines there.
We have coal. I know there's a coal topic that we need to move away from coal. We have natural gas. We have uranium. What about it? He has everything. All we need to do now is just need the right leadership that could actually activate this area and diversify from diamonds. And that is what I stand here for. And I hope and I trust that, you know, this God's project would actually be able to realize that within a given space of time.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And all the best, because we'll all be monitoring the modest and stuffing the you know,
the distractions,
elements. You'll be watching the space.
Yes. Wow. You know, so when I avoid people, especially Takayami, lady house party.
Exactly.
I'm just having my distractions. I'm just nothing personal, guys. I'm just
We've come to the book section.
Yeah.
Is there any books that have made you who you are, a contributor, and you just read them and like, wow, that you like to share with those youth that are motivated by what you just said, and you think
I'm currently reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think it simplifies how to achieve your goal. You know, don't bite what you cannot chew, or don't over exert yourself. Just Atomic Habits, and it just shows you, you know, in terms of collaboration. You know, don't say you can push something. And I think we need to go that direction of collaborating. And when you have a goal, do it progressive steps. Little by little you will achieve. So there. I think it's quite
a book that you recommend. Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
Yeah. It's been a big hit. It's sold a lot of copies. It's very popular.
It's a very and I was recently given this book, Pan-Africanist Pantheon.
Okay.
It's just works and articles from Pan-Africanists.
Is it?
So it's quite interesting.
Do you remember who wrote it?
I don't remember who wrote it, but
Okay.
it's just a thick.
It's a thick book. What's the title?
It's Pan-African and Pantheon.
Okay, Pantheon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
And
thanks.
all the
African writers or something.
African writers
Yes,
who are
yes.
Pan-Africanists.
Yes,
and also
yes, yes.
like
Like Bochinyo Achebe, Bongugi wa
yeah,
Tiongo. Yeah.
Guruma,
Yes, yeah,
all
yeah,
those.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it has all their articles and
The BPP is coming out of you now.
yes. And
The People's Party, which is grounded on Pan-Africanism,
which
isn't
is
it?
grounded on Pan-Africanism,
yes.
access to land. Like I said, again, if you look at the community of Basara, for example, those people have been denied a lot of opportunities, and being a Pan-Africanist, being Botswana People's Party member, you can only sympathize with these people or give these people hearts. And how it's interestingly, we have all these, I'm not trying to be tribalistic, but you have all these tribes that claim or that land belongs to them.
Yeah.
And how about
They don't even know. Hey.
It's a Sesarwa name.
Yeah.
Like,
Who are the real owners here?
Who are the real owners? If at
Yeah.
all this place is named by, come on, history, oral history cannot be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
It cannot be wrong like that. But something happened in the past. The history is written by the victor. It's somebody said already it's their land, and But it's all Sesarwa names.
Bokwe.
It's But I'm not trying to insinuate anything.
No, I got you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, my man.
It's
been
pleasure,
such a
sir.
pleasure. No, it's been fantastic.
It's a pleasure, and people should know People's Party thing.
Yeah.
It has young people like me, and we are the future of People's Party, and we will grow this party. We'll grow UDC, and I invite all the youthful people, youthful even in mind, to step up. This is the time for Botswana, the new republic. Step up and continue where the old folks left. So that is all I can say. It's the best time to be in Botswana right now. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, buddy.
It's been a pleasure, sir.
Yeah. There we go. This is a member of parliament, assistant minister, transport and infrastructure, someone who's clearly quite passionate about the future of Botswana. Messages all over. One of it is love our country again.
Yeah, love our country back.
Love our country back.
Yeah.
So, how more wisdom can we appreciate from Keoagile Atamelang? And we really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much, and see you at the next episode. Guys, the GrowthWell family, thank you very much for watching, and we really appreciate it for the growth that we've gone through the past year. But the bulk of you are still not subscribing on our YouTube channel, and we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe so that we can increase the viewership and the reach. And those that are not on YouTube, please also share, like, so that we can reach more people out there. Whilst on YouTube, we also have a very vibrant WhatsApp community that we will love you to join in as well, where we do debates on these issues. The community you can find on the description aspect of the YouTube. So go there and you can join our WhatsApp community. Thank you very much.